Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Easy English Room podcast. We're so happy you're here with us today. If your goal is to improve your English while also enjoying the process, then you've definitely come to the right place. My name's Henry, your host, and joining me as always is my wonderful co-host, Emma, here with me in London.
Hi, everyone. It's great to have you listening today. We're really excited that you've decided to spend some time with us. Our aim is simple. We want to help you learn English through engaging conversations, clear explanations, and topics that are useful in real life. And today's topic is something that many people find both interesting and important: building wealth.
Yes, that's right. Building wealth. It's something most of us think about at some point in our lives. Maybe you want to save money for the future, invest wisely, or just understand how money works a little better. No matter your reason, it's a topic that really matters, especially in today's world in 2026.
Exactly. And don't worry, we're going to keep everything simple and easy to follow. As always, we'll share practical tips, useful ideas, and helpful vocabulary along the way. So while you're learning about money, you'll also be improving your English without even noticing it.
That's the best part, isn't it? Learning while having fun and listening to a natural conversation. By the end of today's episode, you'll probably realize you've picked up new words and expressions related to finance without any stress at all.
Absolutely. That's what Easy English Room is all about: learning in a relaxed and enjoyable way. So let's get started and dive into today's topic.
Emma, let me ask you something. When did you first start thinking seriously about saving money and building wealth? Was there a specific moment when you thought, okay, I really need to take control of my finances?
Oh, yes, definitely. For me, it happened right after I finished university here in London. I got my first full-time job, and suddenly I had a steady income coming in every month. At first, it felt amazing. I could buy whatever I wanted, go out more, and enjoy my independence. But after a few months, I realized something wasn't right.
What happened?
Well, I checked my bank account one day and I noticed that I hadn't saved anything at all. In fact, most of my money had just disappeared on things I didn't really need: shopping, eating out, and little daily expenses. That was a bit of a shock. I remember thinking, wait, where did all my money go? That's when I realized I needed to be smarter with my finances.
That's such a relatable experience. I think many people go through that exact moment. It's almost like a wake-up call. You suddenly understand that earning money is one thing, but managing it is something completely different.
Exactly. What about you, Henry? When did you start thinking about saving and building wealth?
For me, it was when I wanted to buy my first car in London. I was really excited about it, but then I realized I didn't have enough savings. That made me stop and think. I had to create a plan: how much I needed, how much I could save each month, and how long it would take. That process really changed how I looked at money.
That makes sense. Having a goal can really motivate you. It gives you a reason to save instead of just spending without thinking.
And that's an important point. Building wealth isn't just for very rich people. It's something anyone can do, step by step, no matter their income or background.
Exactly. Small actions can make a big difference over time. Today, we're going to share ideas that can help anyone begin their journey toward building wealth, even if they're just starting out.
Oh, and before we continue, don't forget about the PDF for today's episode. It includes all the vocabulary, useful phrases, and extra tips we'll mention during our conversation. You can find the link in the description and download it easily.
And later in the episode, our friend Laura, who's our vocabulary expert, will join us. She'll explain some of the key words and expressions we use today, especially those related to money and finance.
Yes, Laura is great at making complex ideas simple and easy to understand, so make sure you stay with us until the end. All right, Emma, let's begin with an important question. What does wealth really mean? A lot of people think it's just about how much money you earn.
That's true, but actually, wealth is much more than just your salary. It's not only about how much money comes in, it's also about what you do with that money.
Exactly. Many people confuse income with wealth. You can earn a high salary and still not be wealthy if you spend everything you make. Wealth is really about what you keep, what you save, and what you invest over time.
Right. It's about building assets, things like stocks, bonds, or even property in London that can grow in value and support your financial future.
Yes, and it's also about thinking long term. Wealth isn't something that happens overnight. It's built slowly through consistent habits and smart decisions.
I remember when I started my first job, I thought I was doing well because I had a decent salary, but I wasn't saving anything. Looking back, I realized I wasn't building wealth at all. I was just earning and spending.
I had a very similar experience. When I got my first paycheck, I felt so free. I spent money on clothes, food, and entertainment without really thinking. But one day I checked my account and saw that I had nothing left. That moment really stayed with me.
It really makes you think differently, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's when I understood that being rich isn't about earning a lot. It's about managing your money wisely and making it grow over time.
And this is where financial goals become very important. Without a clear goal, it's easy to spend money without thinking about the future.
That's so true. When you don't have a plan, money just disappears. But when you set a goal, everything changes. You start making more intentional decisions.
I remember setting my first financial goal to save for that car I mentioned earlier. I had to calculate how much I needed, decide how much I could save each month, and estimate how long it would take. It gave me a clear direction.
And that's the key. Financial goals give you purpose. Whether it's saving for a car, a holiday, a house in London, or even planning for retirement, having a goal helps you stay focused and motivated.
It also helps you build discipline. You become more aware of your spending and more careful with your choices.
Exactly. And over time, those small, consistent actions can lead to something much bigger, real financial stability and growth.
So, to sum up this part of our discussion, building wealth is not about quick success or earning huge amounts of money instantly. It's about understanding your finances, setting goals, and making smart decisions step by step.
And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Even small savings can grow into something meaningful if you stay consistent and patient. All right, let's continue exploring more ideas in just a moment. Stay with us here on Easy English Room.
Yes, don't go anywhere. There's much more to come, including useful vocabulary with Laura later on.
To stay focused, I found it really helpful to create small, clear targets. For example, when I was paying off my student loans here in London, I didn't try to tackle everything at once. Instead, I divided the total amount into smaller, more manageable parts. I would concentrate on paying off one loan at a time, step by step. This approach made the whole situation feel much less stressful, and it helped me stay motivated because I could see real progress along the way.
I really like that idea of breaking things down into smaller steps. Sometimes when we think about big financial goals, they can feel very far away or even impossible to achieve. But when you divide them into smaller, more realistic goals, everything becomes easier to handle. For example, if someone wants to build an emergency fund, instead of aiming for a large amount immediately, they could begin with something simple like £500 and gradually increase it over time.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to look at it. It's almost like building wealth one brick at a time, slowly but steadily. Each small step contributes to the bigger picture. And once you've set those financial goals, one of the most effective ways to grow your wealth further is through investing. Saving money is important, of course, but investing is what allows your money to grow and work for you over time.
That's true. There are so many different ways to invest your money nowadays. You can choose from stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or even real estate in London. When I first started, I felt more comfortable choosing mutual funds because they seemed less risky and more stable. But as I gained more knowledge and confidence, I slowly began exploring individual stocks as well.
Yes, investing really is a key part of building wealth. I remember feeling quite nervous at the beginning because I didn't understand much about it. It all seemed complicated and a bit intimidating. So I decided to start small. I began by contributing to my retirement account, and over time I learned more about different investment options. Gradually, I became more confident in making decisions.
Exactly, and that's such an important point. Starting small and learning as you go. It's actually quite amazing how money can grow over time, even if you're only adding small amounts regularly. Consistency really makes a big difference. Over the years, those small contributions can turn into something quite significant.
Absolutely. And speaking of consistency, there's something else that can seriously slow down your progress when building wealth, and that's debt. I've seen many people struggle because of credit card debt. It's very easy to get into, especially with how convenient spending has become in 2026. But getting out of it can be very difficult if you're not careful.
Oh, yes, I completely agree. Managing credit properly is extremely important. I actually learned that lesson the hard way. When I first got a credit card in London, I didn't really think about interest rates or long-term consequences. I was just using it freely, buying things without much thought. But over time, my balance kept increasing.
That sounds familiar. What happened after that?
Well, I was only paying the minimum amount each month, and I didn't realize how quickly the interest was adding up. It became a cycle that was very hard to escape. It actually took me several years to fully pay it off. Now, I've completely changed my approach. I only use my credit card when I know I can pay the full balance by the end of the month.
That's a really smart habit to develop. Credit cards can actually be quite useful, especially if you're trying to build a good credit score. But the key is to use them responsibly. Paying off your balance in full each month and avoiding high-interest debt can make a big difference in staying on track with your financial goals.
Exactly. It's all about discipline and awareness. And speaking of staying on track, that reminds me of another helpful strategy: automating your savings and investments.
Yes, automation is a great tool. When I first started saving, I often forgot to set money aside, or I would feel tempted to spend it instead. But once I set up automatic transfers from my main account to my savings and investment accounts, everything became much easier. I didn't have to think about it anymore, and my money started growing quietly in the background.
I've done the same thing, and it really works. It's surprising how quickly your savings can grow when you automate the process. You don't even notice the money leaving your account because it happens automatically. At the same time, it helps you stay consistent with your financial plan without needing constant effort.
Exactly. Now, Emma, we've talked about managing credit and investing, but there's another simple principle that can make a huge difference: living below your means. It sounds simple, but in reality, it can be quite challenging.
That's very true. Living below your means is really the foundation of building wealth. It simply means spending less than what you earn. But in today's world, especially with online shopping and easy access to credit, it's very easy to spend more than you should without even realizing it.
I remember when I got my first salary increase in London. I felt excited and thought I deserved to reward myself. So I started buying new clothes, going out more often, and even considered upgrading my car. But after some time, I realized I wasn't saving any extra money. I was just spending more.
I've experienced that too. It's very tempting to improve your lifestyle every time your income increases. But that's where many people run into trouble. This is often called lifestyle inflation, where your expenses grow along with your income, leaving you with little or no extra savings.
Exactly. That's why living below your means is so powerful. If you earn more but keep your spending under control, you can save and invest the difference. Over time, that gap between income and expenses becomes the foundation of your wealth.
Yes, and it doesn't mean you have to live a boring or restricted life. It's simply about making smarter choices. For example, instead of buying a brand new car every few years, I decided to keep my reliable old car. Then I used the money I saved to invest instead. Over time, those savings really added up.
That's a great example. Small decisions like that can have a huge impact in the long run. And there's one more important idea I'd like to mention: having multiple sources of income. Relying on just one income stream can be risky.
Absolutely. Having more than one source of income can give you extra financial security and also help you build wealth faster. It could be something like a side job, freelance work, or even passive income from investments. The more streams you have, the more stable your financial situation becomes.
Exactly. It creates more opportunities and reduces risk at the same time. And when you combine multiple income streams with smart saving, investing, and spending habits, you create a strong foundation for long-term financial success.
Well said, Henry. Building wealth really is a journey. It takes time, patience, and consistent effort, but anyone can do it with the right mindset and habits.
All right, let's continue exploring more ideas in the next part of our discussion here on Easy English Room.
Yes, stay with us. We still have more useful tips and vocabulary coming up soon.
I decided to try something new. I started a small online business as a side hustle here in London. And honestly, it's been a fantastic way to earn some extra income. Not only does it bring in more money, but it also gives me peace of mind because I'm not depending on just one source of income anymore.
Oh, absolutely, Henry. Relying on only one income stream can be quite risky. If something unexpected happens, like losing your job, you could find yourself in a difficult situation. But when you have multiple sources of income, it creates a kind of safety net that protects you financially.
Exactly. And I've seen so many people in London doing this in different ways. Some invest in rental properties, others put money into the stock market, and some people offer freelance services in their free time. There are actually so many opportunities nowadays, especially in 2026, to earn extra income if you're willing to explore them.
That's very true, Henry. I actually started doing freelance consulting on weekends myself. At first, it was just a small step, but over time, the extra income really helped me pay off my debt much faster than I expected. It made a huge difference in my financial situation.
That's amazing, Emma. Having more than one source of income not only gives you more financial security, but it also helps you build wealth more quickly. And thanks to modern technology, starting a side hustle is much easier than it used to be. Whether it's selling products online, doing freelance work, or even earning passive income through investments, there are so many possibilities available.
Yes, and once you begin to see the benefits of having multiple income streams, it really changes your thinking. You start to feel more confident and motivated, and you naturally begin looking for even more ways to grow your wealth. It all connects to having the right mindset.
You're absolutely right. Mindset plays a very important role. I always say that building wealth isn't just about numbers or income, it's also about how you think and how you approach your financial life. If you believe that you can improve your situation and you stay committed to your plan, you're much more likely to succeed.
That's such an important point. On the other hand, if someone keeps thinking, I'll never have enough money or this is too difficult, they're actually creating mental barriers for themselves. Those negative thoughts can stop progress before it even begins.
Exactly. Your mindset can either support you or hold you back. I remember a time when I used to think that building wealth was only possible for very rich people in London. I believed it wasn't something I could achieve myself.
I felt the same way in the past, but once I started learning more about personal finance and setting small, realistic goals, I began to realize that building wealth is possible for anyone. It doesn't matter where you start. It's about consistency, patience, and developing the right habits over time.
Yes, having a growth mindset is essential. It means believing that you can improve your financial situation step by step, even if the progress feels slow at first. You have to stay patient and keep going, even during times when it feels like nothing is changing.
Exactly. Building wealth is more like running a marathon than a sprint. It takes time, effort, and persistence. You can't expect instant results, but if you stay consistent, you will eventually see progress.
And another important part of having the right mindset is being willing to take risks, of course, smart and calculated ones. Investing, starting a business, or buying property all involves some level of risk, but if you avoid risks completely, it becomes much harder to grow your wealth.
I agree completely. The key is to educate yourself first, start with small steps, and make thoughtful decisions. That way, you can manage risks more effectively while still moving forward.
Absolutely. And we should also mention that making mistakes is part of the process. Sometimes you might make a poor investment or lose money, and that's okay. It's all part of learning.
Yes, mistakes are actually valuable lessons. The important thing is to learn from them and keep moving forward instead of giving up. That's how you build a strong and stable financial foundation over time.
All right, Emma. Before we finish today's episode, let's invite Laura to join us for the vocabulary section.
Great idea. Laura will help explain some of the key words and phrases we use today so our listeners can understand them more clearly.
Thanks, Henry and Emma. Hello again, everyone. Let's go through some important vocabulary from today's discussion to help you improve your English. First, wealth. This means the total value of everything a person owns, including money, assets, and investments. For example, wealth is not only about earning money, but also about saving and investing wisely. Next, assets. These are valuable resources like stocks, bonds, real estate, or cash that can increase in value over time. For instance, owning assets like property in London can help grow your wealth. Financial goals are specific targets related to managing your money, such as saving for a home or paying off debt. Example, setting clear financial goals gives you direction and purpose. A credit score is a number that shows how reliable you are when it comes to paying back borrowed money. For example, a higher credit score can help you get better loan conditions. Mutual funds are investments where money from many people is combined and invested in different assets. Example, many beginners choose mutual funds because they feel safer. Real estate refers to property such as land or buildings, often used as a long-term investment. Example, investing in real estate can provide steady growth over time. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending increases as your income grows. For example, lifestyle inflation can prevent you from saving even if you earn more money. Multiple streams of income means earning money from different sources, such as a job, investments, or a side business. Example, having multiple income streams improves financial security. Passive income is money you earn with little effort after the initial setup, like rental income or dividends. Example, passive income can support your financial goals over time. Automating savings means setting up automatic transfers to save money regularly. For example, automating your savings helps you stay consistent. That's all for today's vocabulary. I hope these explanations help you understand and use these terms more confidently.
Thank you so much, Laura. That was incredibly clear and helpful.
Yes, we really appreciate it. Expanding your vocabulary is such an important part of improving your English, especially when learning practical topics like this.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode on Easy English Room.
Don't forget to download the PDF for this episode. It includes all the vocabulary, useful phrases, and practice exercises we discussed today.
We hope you enjoyed listening. If you did, please leave a comment, give us a like, and subscribe for more episodes.
We'd love to hear your feedback and also know what topics you'd like us to cover next.
Thanks for joining us today. Keep practicing your English, stay positive, and remember, building wealth takes time, but every small step brings you closer to your goals.
Exactly. Your journey doesn't stop here. Continue learning by watching the next episode or exploring more of our videos.
See you next time here on Easy English Room.
Take care and keep learning.